Hi and welcome back to Cut the Craggle. Today we have another Throwback Thursday review with this. The LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean, The Mill. The Mill. The Mill. The Mal. Wow, that's really not a very exciting name, no matter how you pronounce it. I mean, couldn't they at least call it Battle at the Mill? Sword fight at the mill? Minor disagreement involving pointed objects at the mill? Anyway, if you've been watching my channel over the last couple of months, you'll know that I massively got into these old Pirates of the Caribbean LEGO sets, and actually recently collected the entire theme. I built this set last month on a live stream, and now, finally, I'm getting around to reviewing it. Let's take a look. So here it is, all built up, and I have to say this was a lot of fun to put together. As I mentioned, I built this on a live stream, and it was great building this whilst hanging out with my viewers and some of my YouTube buddies. But just the building experience of this set alone was surprisingly enjoyable. Unlike the other Pirates of the Caribbean sets I've reviewed so far, this doesn't really have separate elements to it. It's just this one larger construct or building of the mill itself. This set is based on one of the most iconic scenes in the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Man's Chest. With allegiances and agendas pulling them all in different directions, Captain Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, and the disgraced James Norrington engage in a three-way duel. The fight sees the trio end up battling in, out, and atop an old abandoned watermill. And this LEGO set is a pretty damn good brick-built representation of that location from the movie. You can see there's even the tiniest suggestion of a little bit of water under the wooden wheel there. Nice little flourish and adds a splash of colour. If we turn this thing around, you can see it's not quite as presentable as the front, but it's not exactly ugly looking. There's a few different enclosed spaces where you can pose or play with minifigures, including this little room down here, which has a bottle of rum and a fish in a barrel. Delicious. Then you have the bell tower, which has a little ladder to get you up to the first floor, but if you want to go all the way to the top, you have to be a little more adventurous. So you have this brick-built church bell, I guess, attached to some LEGO string, and when you untie that, it's supposed to drop down. The idea is that your minifig grabs hold of this handle on the end here, and the bell drops and they go flying up. You know, just like in the movies. Except it doesn't work. I guess it's because the minifig is heavier than the actual bell build? Yeah, colossal fail. Up on the side here we have the fabled Dead Man's Chest, which gives the movie its name. And inside there is this uniquely printed round 1x2 piece meant to represent Davy Jones's barnacle covered heart. That's pretty cool. So down the bottom here on the left, you've probably noticed this rather conspicuous looking lever. That's for the main play feature of this set. Besides the bell tower, the most striking element to the build is this brick-built wooden wheel here, which you can spin around. Now in the movie, this wheel breaks free of the old mill building, and the sword fight continues on top and inside the giant wooden wheel, as it rolls through the jungle. And you can recreate that by pushing down the lever at the back. That is way more fun than it has any right to be. You really get a pretty decent amount of rolling on this. If my desk was longer, I think it would go a lot further. I had a lot of fun playing with this during the live stream. It's quite addictive. The wheel itself is a straightforward but sturdy build. You can see I've got a couple of minifigs on the inside as if they're mid-duel inside the thing as it goes spinning, but there's actually alternating plates facing both ways. So you can also pose these fellas on the outside as well. This is fine for if the wheel is stationary, but if you let it roll... Alright, keep your hair on. This set comes with 4 minifigures. Both Will Turner and Captain Jack Sparrow have already appeared in other sets that I've reviewed in this theme before, but they're still really excellent minifigures. It would have been nice to have gotten a variant on Will though, as he is actually wearing a different outfit with a long coat in this scene, but they've just gone and reused the same minifig we got in the Cannibal Escape. The other 2 minifigures are both exclusive to this set, and the first of those 2 new minifigures is James Norrington. He's fallen from grace since the first film after losing his ship and command in pursuit of Jack Sparrow. Throughout Dead Man's Chest, he continues to wear his old Commodore uniform, now all torn and tattered and dirty. You do get the suggestion of that with one torn lapel and his collar being open and floppy on his torso there. Honestly though, I feel like they could have gone a lot further with the griminess of Norrington's appearance here. It's a really nice print, but it's just far too clean. I think you could almost get away with using this for when he's still in the British Navy. And maybe that was the designer's intention, since we never got another version of this character. They've given him the Aragon hairpiece, which I think works well, and underneath that he comes with 2 different face prints. The first is this suitably stoic expression, and then this other one where he's smiling? Wait, did Norrington actually ever smile in these movies? The final minifigure and second exclusive to this set is Hadras. He's a member of Davy Jones's monstrous crew. You can see his torso and the tops of his legs are absolutely littered in barnacles, and his skin just has this really nasty looking texture. Hadras was probably the most prominent member of the party Davy Jones set ashore to retrieve his heart. He has a uniquely grotesque look with this large seashell on the top of his head, and they made a brand new piece for this seashell, which I don't think they've ever used since. Hadras was also rather prone to losing his head, literally, and I would have really liked it if they had included some alternate build, maybe just a few pieces, for when Hadras's head turns round inside the shell and some lobster-like legs poke out and start walking away. But whilst it doesn't have that feature, they did include some very nice printing on the back of the head. Overall, I am really happy with this set. It was an enjoyable build, and even more surprising is just how good this thing looks as a display piece. I mean, this is a 9-year-old playset, but I'd happily have this on my shelf as part of a scene or even just as a standalone piece. The play feature with the bell just flat out doesn't work the way the set tells you it should. You could probably fix that maybe with adding some pieces to the bell to make it heavier. That said, the big kid in me has way too much fun launching that wheel across my desk. It is so satisfying. It really works well and brings a smile to my face each and every time. For the minifigures in this set, I think you get a pretty decent selection. For the size and price of this set when it released, I would have ideally liked to have seen one more minifig. I mean, pretty much all the other sets I've reviewed in this theme have come with 4 minifigures, but they've all been much smaller and cheaper. For the wheel launch mechanism alone, this set gets the Craggle seal of approval, but it's also a good looking build with a couple of desirable minifigs. 2 thumbs up from me. What do you think of the LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean The Mill? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't already, be a hero and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Laters.